What's up, YouTube? Robbie Vapes back again, and today we are checking out the Aura by VapeOnly. So stay tuned. That is right, YouTube. Today we're talking about the VapeOnly Aura. Now I have to say one thing before we get to the review, and that is I have such high praise for this device for one reason and one reason alone. This device is the one that worked for my dad. My dad is no longer smoking cigarettes because of this device. So for that reason, I have to give it my highest regards, and I have to thank VapeOnly so much for making this device. In fact, it's such a good device in my dad's perspective that he actually just ordered 5 packs of coils from China to get as many coils as he could stock up on for this device. So he loves it. He absolutely loves it. Now I've talked to a few other reviewers to get their opinions on it, and I think we're going to see a lot of mediocre reviews at best. And I kind of see where they're coming from. Honestly, the best way to compare this device from my perspective is it's basically an iJust 2 with a better airflow control valve and a kind of funky drip tip to it, which is good and bad. But again, the big thing here is that it's a device that helped my dad quit smoking, and I have to be honest, I didn't expect it to work. My dad has tried a lot of starter devices. I'm not going to name any names, but he's tried a lot of them. And the funny thing is that this one is the one that worked for him. So I have to give it, again, a good rating just because of that reason. I have a personal connection to this device. I have, obviously emotionally, I'm invested in this device because of what it's done for my family. So I have to give it some high praise. Now, this device has actually won a number of awards. I don't know where, I don't know how, I don't know what, but if you look at their website, they have a bunch of awards listed for this device. And although I couldn't see it, my dad definitely could, and that's a big thing. So let's go over the actual dimensions and things like that, the specs. Then we'll get into the pros and cons, and then we'll actually go down and dirty with this thing, check it out up close, go back up top, talk about price point, and talk about my overall recommendation. So as far as specifications go, the overall dimension of this device is 19 millimeters in diameter and 153 millimeters tall. The juice capacity on this thing is just under 3 mils capacity, and it has 2 types of coils that it comes with, the 0.3 ohm coils or 0.33 ohm coils and the 0.5 ohm coils. The 0.5 ohm coils are set to fire at about 21 watts in this device, and the 0.33 fire about 53 watts. Now my dad's personal preference was a 0.5 ohm coils, just a little bit lower wattage for him, with the airflow just a little bit open to give that mouth lung hit, just a little bit of that airiness feeling to it. Moving on from there, let's talk about the battery capacity. This thing has a 2,000 milliamp hour battery capacity, so it's pretty much going to last you about all day. You're looking at about maybe 4 tanks worth before the battery dies. Depending on how your vaping style is, that might be all day, that might be 2 days, or it might just be half a day depending on how much you're vaping on it. That's just what I found personally. That's also what my dad found as well. He gets through an entire day with it, and it's kind of charging it at the end of night, or at the end of the day, just before he goes to bed kind of thing. So that's pretty much the main specs you got to worry about. Let's talk about the pros and cons. And it's hard to do this because both me and my dad feel so differently about this device. My dad, for example, would say there's no cons to it. He loves it. He thinks it's absolutely amazing. Myself, on the other hand, thinks there's a few things that could be worked out. For example, the drip tip. The drip tip is a proprietary drip tip, although I believe there is an adapter for it that allows you to do 510 drip tips. I can't really figure it out. I haven't played with it too much. I'm mainly doing this review based on my dad's feedback and not mine. So that's just the important thing to know here. It sounds really weird as a reviewer that I'm kind of not even doing the review myself, and I get that, but at the same time, because my dad spoke so highly about it, I have to kind of use his words in this review to justify why he likes it so much. Now the biggest thing with this, it does have a honeycomb style airflow control, which you'll see in the down and dirty section, which is awesome. It allows you to adjust really precisely how much airflow you want to have, which again, the iJust 2 did not. So that's kind of a big plus in that sense as well. Moving on from there, it does have a ton of battery life as far as for my dad's concerned. He can get an entire day out of it or close to it, which is perfect. Now he does rotate between devices on occasion. This is his go-to device, but it's not the best device. Now the big thing that we did find, both myself and my dad, was that the coil life on these is about a week, just under. And that's not with huge amounts of vaping. That's not with running through very high VG juices. It's about 70-30 juices that we were using on those, and it just seemed to work out to about 5 or 6 days per coil. Now they weren't heavily sweetened either, so adjust accordingly depending on what you're vaping on. Obviously, things like milk and honey, or anything super sweet, is going to reduce your coil life, and anything a little bit more fruity and natural is going to increase your coil life. My dad was vaping on 1.5 milligram nicotine. Yes, 1.5 milligram nicotine. For some reason, and it surprised me too, was the nicotine level he chose to quit with, and he's doing fantastic with it. So I'm not going to tell him to change. I'm not going to suggest something else. He's been smoking for almost 40 years, almost 2 packs a day, sometimes even more than 2 packs a day, and 1.5 milligram in this device was perfect for him. So take that as you will. Apart from that, overall, like I said, pros and cons. Biggest pro I can say, it helped my dad quit cigarettes. And I don't think there's a bigger pro I can mention than that. Now, as far as will it work the same for everyone? No, of course not, because everyone's vaping style and even everyone's beginning vaping style is different from someone else's. For example, a lot of people quit on 18 or 24 milligram. My dad said, fuck that, I'm quitting on 1.5. I'm doing this the hard way. So I don't know, that's what it is. That's pretty much it for the pros and cons. So what do you say we get down and dirty with the VapeOnly Aura and check it up close so we can take a closer look. All right, YouTube, we're down and dirty with the Aura by VapeOnly. Here it is in the box here. We're going to take this out real quick, just do a quick unboxing. As you can see here, really nice packaging, very smooth, very simple. I like it. All right, let's open up the box, see what you get inside. First thing you're greeted with is the device and the tank itself. We can see here, if I can get that kind of out there for you guys, you can see there's the tank, there's the device, all together. We take this out, let's pop it out here and put it off to the side. In fact, let's put it off to the side because I don't want to waste too much time. Dig down below, you get this little kind of sticker thing. I don't really know what this is, but it's in there. It is let's see here, see if we can get it in front of the camera to focus. Let you guys pause it here if you want to read it. But there it is by VapeOnly. Please install the coil before using and soak the new coil for no less than 1 minute. So you got a little bit of instruction to prime your coil, a little bit of a reminder. I did forget to mention that the coil is not already installed, so just keep that in mind. If you are getting one of these, it does not have the coil pre-installed. Moving on from there, you also have the USB charger, just put in there like that. And down below here, we have this kind of adapter looking thing, which if I can get out of the packaging, there we go. I believe this is your 510 adapter, so you can actually have a 510 drip tip on there, along with some extra seals and O-rings. That's all good in there, and I'll put that off to the side for now. Now let's get to the device itself. Here it is here. Just take it out of the packaging real quick, as my camera gets all blurry on you guys. Here it is, really nice design, very interesting looking drip tip kind of thing. It's kind of like a flute or like a clarinet or some shit. I don't know, I don't really play much musical instruments, so you tell me what it looks like, but that's what it is. There's your charge port down there, and just take an overall look at this. Again, this battery is 2,000 milliamp hours. The tank on here is just on top here, and it is removable, which is nice. There it is right down there. Very simple. Let's put that back in. This is very hard to do on camera, so forgive me. All the way around, one thing I did forget to mention is it is a little bit tricky to see your juice levels because the slots are a little bit skinny. That's actually one con that both me and my dad share, is the fact that it can be a little bit tricky with those clearer juices to find out where you sit with your juice levels. Moving up the top of here, we have the actual adjustable airflow. You guys can see that, as I mentioned before, it's a honeycomb style. Here it is here, it's all closed off. We start to open it, you can kind of see it getting darker as we go deeper and deeper with it until we get all the way open. And that is all the way open, so you can see my hand to the other side. And again, now this thing does come off, this little drip tip piece here. And I believe this is where the adapter goes to have your own 510 drip tip on that if you wanted to. So let's put this back together, and 5 clicks on, 5 clicks off. No menu system to learn, no hard issue, or nothing hard you have to really do for this. It's very simple, very straightforward, and that's pretty much it. If we move on to the tank itself, let's take the battery away. That's pretty much all we have to talk about for the battery. You have a spring-loaded 510 connection pin right down there. Put that off to the side. There's obviously your pin. That is clearly not to be used on a hybrid, as it doesn't even protrude at all. Just in case anyone was thinking about using this on a hybrid, please don't. Honestly, it's super dangerous, so don't do that. As we unscrew this, we'll see the coil is actually right here. You can see the coil screws into the top, not the bottom, which means it is pretty much leak-proof actually, which is a big plus. That's kind of a cool thing to have. It is leak-proof. And another pro I forgot to mention. Now, the big thing I will say when you are filling this is do not overfill, because the coil, when it gets put in here, it displaces a whole bunch of liquid, and if you're not careful, it will leak out. And especially if this is already sitting on that battery, If it leaks out, it can end up leaking into this charge port, which can be a big issue. So be very careful when filling it. And honestly, guys, less is more in this case because it will overflow and it's not pretty. If you want to chance it, take the tank off, then fill it up and screw it on just to see how much you have left. So that's pretty much it for that. The coil itself, right here, this is what it looks like. I'll take this off real quick to show you guys as I get full of juice. There it is down there. Really tiny little coil here. Definitely proprietary. You're not going to fit anything else on here that I'm aware of. And if anyone has an idea of that, what might fit on here, let me know in the comments below. But I don't think anything else is going to fit on here. Definitely different style coil than what I'm used to using or what I'm used to seeing in most of your average devices. So there it is. Threading isn't the greatest as I'm seeing right now. There we go. I'm just really bad at this on camera because I'm actually looking at it through the camera lens right now, so I'm seeing what you guys are seeing. And there it is. So that is pretty much the device itself in a nutshell, I guess. What do you say we go back up top, finish this review off, and I will tell you my final thoughts and the price point on these guys. Alright guys, so we're back up top with the VapeOnly Aura. We're going to talk about the price point and my overall recommendations. Price point on this thing is about $30 US, and the coils are about $7 to $8 US. So it's really well priced, very good price coils. Like I said, my dad just bought 5 packs of them because he's that committed to this device. And the device itself for $30 I think is a really good price if it helps someone that you know or yourself to quit smoking. Now, as far as my overall recommendations go, based on my dad's feedback, he would recommend it to everyone. But that's not how I roll, all right? Based on my feedback, I think that if someone's looking for a good vape to start with and they don't want to start with high nicotine and they're okay with starting on lower nicotine, just have that extra vapor in it, a little bit of extra airflow to cool it down, and that adjustable airflow control with it, I think this does make for a great device. Now, if you're already a heavy device user or you already build your own coils and you're into RDAs, and maybe you have something that does mouth to lung already, or you're looking for something that does strictly mouth to lung, the mouth to lung on this one, it's okay, but it's not the best out there in my mind. It's good, but it's not great. And if you're looking for a mouth to lung with a lot more airiness to it, then yeah, this is definitely going to be the one for you. But again, to each their own, right? I mean, I can't sit here and tell you how your style is or what your style is. Only you know that, and only you can make the decision based on this review. So I hope it's helped you guys out a little bit. Like I said, VapeOnly, I cannot thank you enough. I hope you guys are watching this review and knowing how much I appreciate this device and what it's done for my family and, the people who are closest to me. So that's going to do it for today. Thank you all so much for watching. And until next time, YouTube, happy vaping.